I'm Geoffrey in World of Tanks. I haven't done a high tier gameplay for ages since I did the Osprey tank. So you remember last time I was talking about the topography and how my game experience was not so good. I thought maybe it could have been my return of the survey to the Sandbox test server, but it was solely topography, and I'll show you some games before topography, before I played any topography, the new mode that became available in World of Tanks. This is the first game. This is a game with Jagdpanther II. I'm going to show you two games. I cannot remember if they were back to back, but they were close by, if they were not back to back. And as you saw in the title, 5 kills twice. So this is the first gameplay top tier in +2 matchmaking.
Now for something completely different.
So if you remember my win rate, as I said last time, and I showed you some screenshots, my win rate on this map after I returned my survey before playing topography was less than 40%. In maps that you have an option to create a jungle fort, I make a jungle fort. I feel TDs have to be a little bit to surprise a little bit the enemy, although this position is well known. But sometimes they have to try to surprise the enemy as much as they can by creating sort of jungle forts where they don't exist, so the enemy does not expect them to be there. Unfortunately, some of the maps, for example, Minsk was recently changed. It was edited, the map. And so there's only one possible position now for DD, so all the enemy tanks know that if you have any idea what you're doing, you're there, and avoid you. Unfortunately, it has become this way. So Minsk now is one of the worst possible maps for TDs. When I first saw the map, I thought it just been made a bit larger, but it wasn't just made larger. It was actually completely changed because all the trees were removed, so there's nowhere anymore to create a jungle fort, as I like to call them. And so as a TD, especially in the beginning of the game, you really have to sit back. This is pretty much how it is. You try to play aggressively, even if you top tier, you'll be flanked and killed. There are too many tanks in the game, and some tanks will have flanking shots on you. So unfortunately, you have to stay back. Sad as it sounds, unless you're in a city environment, you have a super heavy tank, you can go in the street and you know you won't be flanked because there isn't a possibility to be flanked. Then you're okay. But if you're in anything like a medium to light glass cannon type of TD, even if you top tier, you have to stay back. And I'm going to show you why, even in this tank which is top tier. And it's not necessarily, a glass cannon. In fact, you're very, very vulnerable. So I missed him. Finally had a shot. So he's out. There are other snipers on the hill, if you remember. I'm relatively safe here from the tanks that are... Okay, here we go. I'm safe from the tanks that are in front of me. But already a Skoda, which is a bottom tier tank, 2 tiers below me, was able to pan me. And is able to pan me again, even though I'm side scraping. And again. I was side scraping and he panned me. So it means nothing being a TD. You really have to not be spotted. Unless you're in some kind of British TD, like some whatever it is, some turtle or the 87 or something like that. So this guy has taken cover behind a dead tank, and he's well armored, especially the upper, the turret. So it's a difficult opponent. I'll have to wait for him to make a mistake. And I'm basically holding one side of the map. The rest of the team, those are still alive, about, what is it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 tanks are on the other side of the map. And just fighting, well, they're fighting one tank or something. They're fighting one tank or 2.
Very good indeed.
9 tanks are fighting 2 tanks, 3 maybe. And I don't know how this tank is getting any shots. I mean, it's quite amazing.
It's such a senseless waste of human life, isn't it?
Okay, let's see what happens. I'll be shot again from another bottom tier tank by Cromwell. He panned me. I can't bounce anything. So the Cromwell panned me, and the Skoda tank, tier 6 tanks.
Stand and deliver!
Hampstead wasn't good enough for you, was it? You had to go punching off to Barnsley.
Okay, wasn't spotted this time. So you see how it goes. I won't say I'm unlucky, but I'm top tier. And I'm not very lucky either in terms of bouncing anything. I've bounced nothing. I'm being shot by bottom tier tanks. And I'm side scraping, I'm kind of slightly hold down, so the lower part of the TD is covered. I'm angling the tank as much as I can. I cannot bounce anything. So I'm going to show you these 2 Jagdpanther battles, but you see the video clip is a little bit long, so there's going to be some bonus tracks at the end. So I'm going to show you first these 2 battles. Of course, you can expect they're going to take most of the battle time, but then I'm going to show you a couple of battles that were a little bit the usual thing. Yeah? They have 5 kills per battle in every battle. I did really well, if you remember. I'll show you some images, screenshots last time. I was doing very well in all my tanks, but I still had a win rate below 40%. So what I was thinking there is to go and kind of join my colleagues on the other side, because I felt isolated here. On the other hand, I'm really holding this side of the map, and I feel now that if I retreat and they have any enemy tanks on that side, we're going to lose map control. And indeed, they had an enemy tank on this side. It's the Cromwell still hiding. And there's another tank. So they had 2 tanks on this side. Could have easily lost map control. And where did my shot go there? And I got spotted. How did I get spotted? Because I felt that his turret was behind the rock. So who did I get spotted by? And of course we're losing something like 2,000, we're at about 2,000 something points down. And the Cromwell was trying to flank me. Okay. Got away. Fortunately, the Judas managed to, come and help me. And I still haven't bounced any shots. In top tier, I haven't bounced anything. And the Judas decided to go on that side. Now that side has been probably cleared up, so I think what he's doing is he's trying to get a flanking position of the enemy tanks on the hill. And hoping in the meantime that the 3 tanks remaining on the western part of the map will hold their own, but it looks like they're not. They're now outnumbered 4-2, and almost certainly they're going to lose. One of the tanks is down in that gully. 3 of the enemy tanks are full HP, and so it looks like that side is not going to hold. I'm hoping I can get a side shot, but I can't get a shot of that tank, so I'm moving forward to see if I can get a shot in case it gets spotted. It's not being spotted. You know, the 2 tanks we have on that side are a little bit nervous that they'll get shot, so they've just gone hiding. So the Udas is moving up, and so it's moving to the south side to flank the enemy tanks, and now the enemy tanks are attacking, and I think both our tanks on that side are cooked. So now I've changed my mind again. Since the Udas is going to the south part of the map, I feel that I should try and get, make a pincer movement, if you like. Yeah, get a position on this side of the map. It's also, my natural jungle fort here. But I feel at this point that I don't have any shots if the Judas engages the enemy tanks. I won't be able to help the Judas. So, change of plan again. I'm going to go to those bushes. The Judas seems to have managed a shot. I think he's killed one of the enemy tanks, if I'm not mistaken. They still have 3 tanks alive. We've got 2. We have equalized in terms of hit points, and we have heavier tanks. We have top tier tanks, and I think, what are the tanks? They are a Tiger 2, Chariot here, and I can't make out the other one, but I think it's a lower tier tank. I think we've got the advantage in terms of being only 2 tanks but higher tier, even though we have fewer hit points. We have a chance of winning this if I can bounce anything. So now my intention here is to go into, make this kind of pincer maneuver, if you like. I don't know what to call it. Just surround the enemy. Unfortunately, I don't have a view of the gully here. And one of the enemy tanks is spotted, but I wouldn't have a shot at him anyway. So, and I've been outsmarted and outmaneuvered. But for the first time, I've bounced. An enemy shot for the first time. And of course, I wasted a shot by not taking my time. And now it really is. Okay. Now, it really was make or break at this point. And fortunately, I was able to reload faster than he did. And now we have a chance of winning, although I am 1 shot. Not spotted, but I bounced on the tier 6 tank, okay. Oh dear. Oh, was it tier 7? Was it tier 7? I don't know what happened there. I think when I left click, my mouse kind of slided off, but fortunately it killed it. I had shot before the mouse slided off. And so now we've got this game, but you see I have something like over 3,000 HP damage. And we'll see how much damage the Udis has. And we just won. Okay, and Brothers of Arms? No, what is it called? Yeah, the Brothers of Arms medal, whatever it is. We platooned at the end of the battle. So that was the first battle. There's another one coming. So a Stanka, fire for effect, fighter badge, spotter. Okay. Wasn't exactly light tank or medium, but anyway. Duelist, Hand of God, Bruiser, and Brothers in Arms medal. Okay. And then the Udis did 4,400. But you see what's going on here. So the enemy team had a more rounded team. You know, a lot of them did something. And our team depended on just the 2 top-tier tanks, basically. So I would say that's not really balanced, because if one of us died, you know, if one of us was rushed or, you know, just gangbanged or something, then the battle would be over in the beginning. Because the entire team depended on the 2 of us, even though we're top tier by chance. So this is the second battle. I'm again top tier, and so both these battles went, as you can imagine, relatively well. Although it was a close one. It was a close battle, the last battle. We'll see how this one goes. And then I'll show you some other examples. Anyway, those of you who are keen at playing a high tier, so here are some high tier battles, some high tier gameplay for you. I mostly mostly show battles at kind of mid tiers. Because they are historical tanks, and I feel that they, you know, deserve more airplay. But I also realize that a lot of people somehow, you know, are not in this game for the historical aspect of it. Yeah, they're not interested in history or strategy or anything like that. And it's quite clear they're the sort of people who, you know, play first-person shooter games. But, you know, they play them with some gunners or whatever, some commandos or whatever, whereas this one is with tanks. You know, your first-person shooter sort of game is a tank, whatever. It's not a guy. That's the only difference. There's a lot of people like them, and they don't care about history. So they only want to be the best. And to be the best, you have to be top tier. That's the idea. I find this utterly silly. But for those of you who don't, so here's some tier 8 gameplay. So I took this position because nobody came here, but this particular tank is so slow, has such slow traverse, that if I move my hull, I get spotted here. But as long as I don't move the hull, I'm relatively concealed. Yeah, I have a net, I have a camo net. So and a lot of the tanks that are moving on top of the hill probably don't have very good view range.
He's that most rare of criminals, a blancmange impersonator and cannibal.
How shall we fuck off, oh lord? Got any nuts? No! Go!
I think what's happened is terribly, terribly funny. Tragic.
Okay, I've already got over 1,000 HP damage. And, we're already down with on HP. Okay, I have to try and save my comrade there. I did, but there was another guy on the hill. I can't shoot at everybody. There's another one down below. Okay, I'm going to try and shoot at him.
This calls for immediate discussion.
How did I bounce? I was green everywhere. You see, it's like green practically everywhere, and I bounced. So frustrating. Where did I bounce to? Everything was green. Wherever I was going to shoot him, it didn't matter. His tongue appeared green, no matter where I would shoot.
Didn't mean to. You put your sword right through his head.
Okay, thank you for making it easy. Thank you for making it easy for me. Okay, so the art is in the usual position near the base. No surprise there. And we're down on HP. We're even in tanks, more or less, but down on HP. So this is going a little bit like the previous battle. And let's see if it's going to be a similar result with the entire team expecting the 2 top tier tanks to carry. I mean, that's not entirely surprising. What was surprising is that the enemy team last time was so well rounded, everyone contributed something. So we're momentarily 1 tank up, but down on HP. The enemy team has equalized in terms of tanks. What is very frustrating very often when you are a TD player is that the heavy tanks, even though they may not be very good players, they intend on pushing on regardless. They will not try to attract the tanks towards the TDs, you know, the enemy players for the TDs. They will not try to create angles for artillery. Now we haven't any, it's been killed, but let's say we had still some artillery. Very often the heavy tank players just, you know, want to push on regardless, and very often they just melt away. And they never kind of pause and think of what the role is. You know, the role of a heavy tank is not to attack, weird as it sounds. The role of a heavy tank is to be the defense of your team. The role of a heavy tank is to hide, you know, to not be shot, to take cover and just defend itself. That's what it's all about. It's not to attack. Okay, he got away just in time. I mean, the benefit of a heavy tank is its armor. Okay, a little bit of damage there. The benefit of the heavy tank is its armor. Now he's cooked.
You haven't given us time to hide.
Blind shot. But hit the tracks.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
So people think, oh, I'm in a heavy tank, I'm the boss or whatever, let's go. And very often what they do is just they kill themselves. Because they end up in some trap, in crossfire, they get shot by TDs, by RT because they're careless. And so, you know, they have this idea, oh, I'm a big guy and a big tank, and whatever, lots of armor, and they go and kill themselves. The role of the heavy tank is like, like a man with a shield, heavily armored, in front of the army. So the archers and the slingers and whatever, all the light troops, the javelin men, whatever, behind him can do damage. Yeah. So everybody, because if he goes and he dies, all the slingers and all the archers, they're dead meat. All the guys behind him. So the heavy tank has to stay alive. That's his role. Anyway, we're down. We're down one tank. We're down on HP. Got 4 kills, and the other guy's got, what is it, 5 kills? So similar, or is it 3? I cannot see because the resolution of my screen is so poor. But it looks like a similar situation as before. And I have already close to 4,000 HP damage. More than 3,000 anyway. It's really, it's really, unless I was top tier, and unless I was in a position to carry, my teams just melted away during this period. Okay, so I thought they'd be here, so that was a good shot. I thought they would be coming this way because my teammate couldn't see them.
I think what's happened is...
And of course, I get panned almost every time. And the arty just missed me. But stunned me. And so now we are 2v2, but one of the enemy tanks is an arty. Their tank destroyer is hiding behind this building and is trying to capture victory. Unfortunately, although I destroyed the building, I caused no damage to him. Can I get a shot? I have to traverse the entire tank. But fortunately, I got a shot somehow. I don't know why. It looked like my shot went nowhere near him. But anyway. So I guess that was lucky. So this is the worst thing about a TD, that that if you have to traverse the hole, then you completely completely lose your aim. Your aiming circle becomes very, very large. Okay, so we managed to kill the enemy top tier TD. And my teammate has 4 kills, I have 4 kills. So it looks like we're doing okay. Sorry, I have 5 kills. So it looks like we're doing okay. We have this in the bag. There's only the enemy SPG left. But this looks very much like a situation before. And if the two of us were not in top tier tanks, we wouldn't have won this battle. Yeah, this would have been another loss. Look how close it was. It also tells you something that, like, if you have good players playing top tier, then it's much easier to win. And so, because only 3 or 4 tanks are top tier, it's a little bit of a lottery. Yeah. So yeah, just making sure that he's not stalking at me on the other side of the building. Okay, so because only, in Plastic Matchmaking only 3 or 4 players are top tier, it's a bit of a lottery. If your best players are top tier, you have a chance of winning. Fingers crossed. As long as the other teams are not complete muppets. But if not, then you're gonna lose. And because, there's only some chance that your best players are going to be top tier. It's hit and miss. It's a lottery. Battles are a lottery. I wonder if the frequency of Plastic Matchmaking always was as common as it is now. So the enemy SPG is nowhere around here, but he might blind shoot me from wherever he's gone. So I'm going to go behind the hill and come for victory. So here it will be less difficult for the enemy SPG to blind shoot me and decap and draw. So I'm gonna speed it up now because you know it's gonna happen. So it was a victory. For a change, I also reached a level 2, which rather suggests that I got another Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. So, Ace Tanker Demolition Expert, I kind of blew some ammo racks, I think, during the battle. Fighter Badge. And what's the other one? Duelist and something else. And then a Confederate Medal and High Caliber. So total my team with nearly 5,000 damage, 5 kills. My comrade had 4 kills, and you can see, I think, once again, that the enemy team had a more rounded team. I mean, there was one guy, 2 guys at the bottom that didn't do so well. But the rest of their team probably did better than our team. I would say it was a more rounded team. And so here is again the end of that battle. And now there's still some time left, as you can see. So I'm going to show you 2 battles that didn't quite go as well as the last 2. Most of the battles were difficult, much more difficult than the last 2, which were, you know, until near the end, very, very, very close. So this is a Scorpion, Scorpion G battle, still tier 8, for those of you who like high tier gameplay. And as I did in the previous 2 battles, I'm going to make a jungle fort again.
Right. Now the man who gets the shortest straw knows what to do.
I feel that with TDs, you have to make a jungle fort and be in a position that the enemy does not expect you to be. And this is the problem with the Minsk map the way it is now. There's only one position for TDs to go. This is the only position. There's nowhere else for TDs to go if they want to use concealment. And so it's now one of my least favorite maps when I play TD, which is what I usually play. So I'm making a jungle fort here, yeah. But I'm not going to stay here. This is an emergency jungle fort. Right now I want to get some shots on enemy tanks going into
Can we
the
have your liver?
and I want to destroy these fences because they're somewhat all the way disappeared. I want to destroy, basically what I did there was destroy these fences because they may block shots. For example, if I shoot a PCR. So, and there's a firing lane here. And these are the 2 tanks that are shooting at the valley road, or whatever, the lake road. But you have to have one TD that lays. Oh, come on, a little bit to the side, please. Move a little bit. So at least one TD must lay a firing lane here. By firing lane, I mean you have to be pre-aimed, and you have to cover as much distance as you can with your pre-aimed shot. You know, as much, you know, being pre-aimed here covers as much distance or as much ground as possible because it's a very long corridor. Can you please stay there? I hope I can reload before this guy disappears. Wow, that was a lucky shot. Could have ricocheted. Wanted to shoot his side, but In fact, I wanted to track him, but anyway. It was good enough. I'm lucky that I didn't ricochet. Okay, now I kind of want to find another position because this is an obvious spot, and I'm worried that if the enemy arty relocates, they may shoot me there. And also, I want to go back to this position because we're losing. We're down 2 tanks. And so I'm going on the defense, basically. Okay, we're equalized in terms of hit points. And the enemy team is pushing the town, the village. So there isn't much you can do then because the enemy tanks are now hidden behind the buildings. So there's no point of being on the left anymore. Now you need to have kind of view over the lake. There was an enemy tank there, so I'm blind shooting those bushes. Nothing better to do, but I'm not hitting anything. Still not hitting anything. And I'm now bottom tier and +2 matchmaking. Just waiting to see what's going to happen. Could have hit him if he would hesitate a little bit. Fingers crossed. At least I've got this one.
How shall we fuck off, oh lord?
So this is a good position because I feel you're well concealed. People don't expect you to be here. You are protected from enemy arty in this position because of this mountain. And you have a good control of the approaches around the lake. For example now, the CLC even is trying to rush our base. And I bounced on the ELC even with a Scorpion. How is this even possible? Once again on green. Ah. What? Oh, projector is shooting as well. So they have a projector over on that side, sniping away. So the entire team almost went into the town and they all died. So going back to what I was saying before, that if you're a heavy tank, your job is to defend. It's not attack. But of course, defending a heavy tank depends very much.
Hello, can we have your liver?
What happened?
I apologise for that.
Defending a heavy
you'll
tank.
find this a bit more interesting.
Sorry, defending a heavy tank depends very much on having TDs and SPGs that can support you.
Very good indeed. Quite outstanding.
This demonstrates the value of not being seen.
Okay, that was rather lucky. So the projector that was shooting at me earlier on is moving forward and it's taking a rather aggressive position. The heavy TD, the Object 704, is in a tight spot. Let's see what we can do.
hit on the head lessons in here.
Bounce. Or is it +1 matchmaking? Could be +1 matchmaking. Oh, okay. I have to get a better position. Can I pin here? Yeah, hopefully. Oh, I wasn't spotted? Okay, he has no vision things. You know, he has no binocs or whatever. Oh, may have binocs because he was moving. And while the job of a heavy tank is to defend and not get killed, the job of a TD is to stay stealthy and not get spotted. That's the recipe. Okay, the object 704 has become a target. Scorpion G is trying to cover me, or cover us. That's a good move. We only have TDs left. Okay, let's see if we can get him. Okay, the object got him. And the projector is peeking again. When he's moving, it looks like he has poor vision. I don't want to shoot because I'll get spotted if I do. That was totally lucky. Okay. Because that's poor vision, it doesn't really matter. And I don't think even he has binocs. Oh, no, he spotted me now. He may have binocs. So now I'm a little bit worried about RT because we have relocated. Seeing that he's shooting at the object 704. And so I'm worried they may have a shot on me, so I'm kind of wiggling around to avoid being shot by the RT. It looks like the RT is focusing the 704, the object. And the projector is doing the same. And he's been killed. So the object was spotting the projector, and he's gone. Can't see him anymore. So the biggest threat, I think, probably is the far side. So I have to spot him, and I'm worried that he may make an overflanking and outflanking maneuver. The projector has no idea where I am, so he's blind shooting the bushes. But he may have binocs, and so I'm not moving. And I'm not shooting, I'm not blind shooting. If I can catch him off guard, I will blind shoot him. But he's been shot already twice, so he's being very careful. Another blind shot. He just basically peeks, fires a blind shot, hoping that I might try to shoot him back, and then he'll plant 2 shots into me and go into reload. So I'm not going to do that. Unless he goes out into the open, I'm not shooting. Even if he goes out in the open and I shoot him once, he'll probably survive and be able to kill me if he really wants to. Yeah, he can just rush me. The only thing is he doesn't know where the other 2 tanks are. We have another 2 TDs. But now he knows where they are, and he will still not rush me. They probably have both been spotted now, but he will still not rush me. And he also has the cover of their other tank in the east, but he's not gonna risk it. What can I say? Okay, he just blind shoots for nothing. So this is a cat and mouse game where in the last 2 minutes of the game, another blind shot. Okay, we lost the other Scorpion. We're now down 3 tanks, and we're down in HP about below 1,700. But the enemy will still not rush us. The enemy top tier tank that was on the hill is retreating. I don't blame him, because he had no HP and the projectile would not push. And the way this is going, it's not going to be a victory. It may not even be a defeat. But it's not going to look good on my win rate. He's thinking I'm not there.
Excuse me, could somebody give me a push?
I think what's happened is terribly, terribly funny. Tragic.
He got a shot into me somehow. That's pretty good. I think he blind shot me. Okay, I think it's over. About 21 seconds left. It's possible someone may try to rush us. But at this point, there's no way we're going to get to the enemy base. And there's a duo between the two objects, 704 in the west. I want to go and support object 704, but time has run out. It's a draw. So I received another decal, like in one of the previous battles. A draw. This was a close draw. Very frustrating. Top of a team with more than 4,000 HP damage. These were obviously good battles, but you remember I showed you in the last game how my World of Tank rating in all the tanks I was playing basically was very, very, very high, and still I had a win rate below 40%. So one more battle, and this is going to be one of the typical battles. You know, the other 3 battles were relatively balanced, you could say, in the end. But this is going to be a different one. This is going to be quite a different kind of fish. And this is why the win rate was so low. And frankly, I'm not always sure how to explain it, other than that when I look at the constitution of the teams, very often there's only 1 or 2 players. I thought I had a shot on him. There's very often only 1 or 2 players on my team that had win rate above 50%, of whom I am one. And the enemy team is not always better. But when the odds are like this, if the enemy team is not better but slightly more balanced or catches one of us off guard, then the battle will go into the enemy team's favor. So we're already down 2 tanks, 1,400 tanks. Down 3 tanks. What can I say? We're down 4 tanks. We're less than 2 minutes in the game and we're down 4 tanks. And this guy's asking for help. We're being rushed. And yeah, it was well aimed, missed, and my sixth sense didn't go off. I was tracked once, tracked twice.
It's got a gun! Now, normally a sheep is a placid, timid creature, but you've got a killer!
Dead in an instant. My sixth sense did not even go off. I'm sure the sixth sense had time. There were more than 3 seconds. It should have gone off. Anyway, that was the end of my complaining session. Next time I'll show you some battles from after I play topography. Thank you for watching.